Hi everybody, this is your friend Robert Garcia. I want to invite everybody to snack.com for all your vitamin and supplement needs. Everybody at RGBA are snack strong.
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us on Robert Garcia Unfiltered. We had a few big announcements this past weekend and earlier today in the morning. I think on Friday or Thursday, Top Rank and ESPN announced Joshua Franco versus Andrew Moloney, Part 3, the trilogy. Josh's second trilogy now. What is he, like 25 years old? He already has 3 trilogies.
Two
then,
trilogies.
Today, Tuesday morning, July, what's today's date?
I think 13.
July 13th, the Zone Golden Boy announced Vergil Ortiz versus Egis Mean Machine Kavaliauskas. Obviously, us as a team really familiar with Egis Kavaliauskas. Used to train at RGBA when we were in Oxnard. But yeah, both fights. The one thing is that both fights got announced for the same date, different locations. Obviously, Top Rank, ESPN. Joshua Franco versus Andrew Moloney will be held at the Hard Rock Casino in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Vergil Ortiz versus Egis Kavaliauskas will be in Frisco, Texas, at the Cowboys training facility at the Star. Obviously, a little bit dumb. Just a quick thing. We're sorry. We needed to go on live to talk a little bit about this. But the backyard, they're still doing a lot of construction and stuff on the yard, so you guys might hear some noise and stuff. Just letting you guys know. Sorry for the inconvenience. But yeah, we'll get into it. Egis versus Vergil got announced today. Josh versus Moloney. We'll start with Josh versus Moloney. Obviously, the first fight, Josh pulled off the upset, beating Andrew Moloney, taking his WBA title. Then the rematch goes, and we have the whole controversy where Josh gets a injury in his eye and swells up. He can't see out of it. The referee or the doctor stops the fight.
The referee, the doctor stopped it, but the referee ruled it a headbutt.
The referee ruled it a headbutt. There was headbutts earlier in the fight, and you know what? This is actually the perfect timing for it because we just saw recently in controversy in the Conor McGregor fight versus Dustin Poirier, where it shows that so the fight starts. MMA is obviously a little bit different than boxing. It's a little bit more savage, more brutal. Conor, I think I heard, did a front kick, boom, kicks the guy, and then he blocks it with his elbow, which is what caused the original injury for Conor and for Conor's ankle. And then when he steps back, he throws a left and then steps back and then completely
because
snaps his ankle.
From what I seen, I didn't see the whole fight, but from what I see on the replays and everything, when that happened, when he broke his ankle, it was like he took a step.
He took a step back and
he couldn't just break. It couldn't just break from a step. Sometimes people jump from 10 feet and still don't break their ankles or anything. It kind of seemed like it was already
from something earlier.
Yes, exactly.
And there's video of him of Dustin Poirier checking a kick with his elbow, which might have caused the injury.
Blocking it could have started.
In MMA, they don't have the same rules as boxing. In boxing, if an injury like that occurs before the 4th round, it is declared a draw. If a world champ, if it's a world title fight, the world champ keeps his title, but the fight is declared a draw or no contest.
Yeah.
What is it, draw or no contest?
No contest.
No contest. It is declared a no contest. The first fight that Joshua Franco and Andrew Moloney do, Moloney hits Joshua Franco with everything, and Josh barely comes out bruised from the fight. So then in the rematch, we're supposed to believe that he lands a jab and fractures Josh's face.
Fractured. It was
a minor fracture in his.
Fracture in his.
We're supposed to believe that he fractured in the fight. It was obviously rules are different, but there was a headbutt in the first round that probably caused the fracture, and after that, a jab might have made it worse. But the original injury was ruled a headbutt, and that's what it was. Either way, now they get to settle the score with the third fight in the trilogy in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What do you think about Josh and the experience of him being in the second trilogy?
Before that, I want to bring up another case. Remember Abner Mares
with Gutierrez?
I think it was Gutierrez at the StubHub.
At the StubHub Center. Andres El Jaguar Gutierrez.
There you go. Abner Mares is, in a fight, and I think there was a big cut that the ref ruled it a headbutt. It was actually Jack Reese.
Yeah, Jack Reese.
Jack Reese ruled it a headbutt, and the fight kept going. Like 4 or 5 rounds later, the fight got stopped because of the cut.
But it got stopped after the 4th round.
But it was like 9th, I think it was. It was later in the fight. It was stopped. It was stopped because the cut got bigger and bigger and worse, more blood, all that. So so Jack Reese stopped the fight, went to the doctor. The doctor stopped it, and we still had to go to the scorecards
because it was from the original thing was from a headbutt.
The original was from a headbutt. So
doesn't matter that it got worse.
Exactly.
It started with the headbutt.
So that's how the Franco fight got ruled. It started from a headbutt, and I'm not saying no punches landed. Yeah, maybe a couple jabs landed.
He said he landed 50 jabs.
Well, that's what he says. That's fine. So it initially started off a headbutt. So that's what the referee ruled, and that's why it was a controversy. Yeah.
But now the trilogy again, Joshua Franco in his second trilogy. You think that helps him out in the fight? Being that he already went through one of those types of experiences. Sometimes it takes veterans to go through tough stuff like that. It's Josh's second time already at 25 years old.
I think with Franco fighting Negrete, those were tough. All 3 were tough. These ones, we could probably say the first one,
Josh dominated.
Could have said, okay, it was a little tough, but I think Josh not dominated. He, beat him up, dropped
9 rounds
him,
to 3.
Sent him to the hospital. If the judges had it very close, that's the judges, because we were fighting on Top Rank show against a Top Rank fighter. So all that,
that's the only reason it was close.
All that is always against us. But we think we totally dominated, put a beating on him, sent him to the hospital. He threw up right after he was throwing up.
That's what you guys
he was throwing up before he even got into the.
As soon as he left the ring and he went to the backstage,
he was throwing up. He was just beat up. And then the second one, we didn't even get to see,
6
much
minutes
of it. It was 2 rounds that we would see. So obviously, the Negretes were more experienced for Josh. I think this one is going to be more. I think it's more of a
one-sided
situation where we were. The first one we dominated. The second one, we don't. People and everybody thinks because of one fucking round. I think we also lost the first round and the first fight.
Yeah.
But then Josh just kept pressing and dominating and put a beating on him. You can't say there was going to be a different result from just watching 2 rounds. But now we're gonna go for the 3rd fight. It's gonna be a trilogy, but I think the Negrete is more like the feeling of a trilogy.
Yeah,
I think this is more of a just another just a rematch.
Yeah, I guess you could say it like that. The same day got announced today: Vergil Ortiz versus Egis Kavaliauskas. Obviously, you trained Egis for the first, I want to say, 10, 12 fights of his career, a few years. You know him well from sparring, from just everything, being in his corner for all those fights. What could you say a little bit about Mean Machine, first of all? Because right now, Vergil's the top, one of the hot welterweights. At one point, Egis was like that with Top Rank. They were really, really excited about his future, and he had a few injuries that kind of derailed it.
Yes.
And then he ended up losing his first fight against Terrence Crawford, in which he actually dropped Crawford. They didn't count it, but he actually dropped Crawford and gave him a really, really good fight. What can you say a little bit about Egis?
Well, first of all, I really hated the idea of going against Egis, against Marcos. But it's a sport. One thing I could tell you guys is Marcos did call me. This is months ago when they first mentioned that fight to them. He did call me right away. He says, "Hey, what do you think? They're offering us this fight." And I said, "Look, Marcos, it's a big opportunity for Egis. He's a great fighter, great person, and I'm sure the purse is gonna be really good too. But just the fact that it's a great opportunity. Vergil's top in every ranking. He's 1 or 2 in every organization. So I said, take it. Make sure. Obviously the manager's gonna Egis Klimas is a great manager. So make sure make sure the purse is right and he gets what he deserves. But it's gonna be a hard fight. It's not gonna be easy for either of them. But I hate the fact that we have to go against them. But it's a sport, and before and after, we're still gonna continue being friends. I love Egis. Egis was a great person, very loyal person. I had to leave Riverside when I moved to.
No, you have to leave Oxnard.
I have to leave Oxnard when I moved to Riverside, and I was driving back and forth for over a year. But then came the point where I told all Marcos and all the fighters, I said, guys, I had a meeting with all of them, and I told them, you know what, I can't do this anymore. It's just hurting me, fucking driving, 2
Leave at
hours.
4 a.m.
I had to leave at 4 in the morning, driving 2 hours, and then on the way back, I would drive 3 to 4 hours just to get back home because of the traffic. But so I told them I couldn't do it. Everybody understood and everything. And so I loved all the fighters over there. Egis still there, still training with Marcos. So he's been very loyal. But this is a sport, and honestly, I don't wish him bad. I know he always trains hard. He's very dangerous, very strong. It's gonna be a great fight. I think he's gonna put up a great fight.
One of the things about both fights being announced is that they're the same day. Obviously, the teams will have to be split. Vergil obviously has his dad, and that helps him out. But the rest of us, you, me, Big G, Chepe, will all be kind of separating stuff. Obviously, you don't know exactly how it's going to work that day.
We still haven't made that decision because we do have a lot. It's four of us, Vergil and Hector Beltran are also part of it. So it's 6 of us. So we'll have to split up. We'll make a decision soon. We have to make it soon. But yeah, it's not easy, But it's not the first time that this happened to us. We've had this a few times. When I remember when Brian Viloria and Steven Luevano were both world champions, and they both fought that same day, but in different locations.
One in the Philippines.
One was in the Philippines, and the other one in New York. So we split up. We made a decision with my dad and the team who goes where, and the fighters didn't complain. The fighters know that was the situation, and we had to make that decision. So most recently it was with Josito Lopez and Vergil. And Vergil, same thing. Josito fought Keith Thurman for a world title fight. Vergil fought in Houston, right?
Houston, Texas.
Against some Japanese guy.
No, Mexican guy.
Mexican guy? Okay.
Yeah.
And we made that decision there, on the fight, which fight is bigger, which fight is more important, which fighter needs more help, which fighter is in less danger, which fighter's in the worst, has the most, they're all dangerous.
You have to think about all that.
But we have to think about all that, and both fights are tough. Both fights are not easy. Neither of them are easy. Initially, because the casino from Dallas, I believe, is only like a 3-hour drive.
Tulsa?
I think so. That's what I was told. That it wasn't, that is not that bad of a drive. So, Rick Regan and myself were thinking and hoping that ESPN has their time because they have a bunch of other sports that they can't stop or they can switch a basketball game because they have to put in because I said I need Josh to fight early, so they already have their time set. So we talked to Top Rank and ESPN to tell us the exact time that the fights would start and what time Joshua Franco would be fighting. So we got that, and then we thought Golden Boy with DAZN, since it's just an app, they don't have other sports waiting, a soccer game waiting to start, or anything else. It's an app. So we thought maybe they could start a little bit later.
You do Josh's fight.
We do Josh's fight and catch a flight or a helicopter. We were thinking a helicopter from the casino,
like 45 minutes, you said,
straight to the stadium where the fight's gonna be, which is gonna be the training facility, which we could fucking land in the practice field. But it seems like it's not gonna be possible because
the start times are almost identical.
I think the start times are gonna be identical. I don't know why, or DAZN wasn't able to do something like that. Rick told me that they measured everything. If we were to go to an airport to catch a private jet to go into to get into Dallas and then drive, it was gonna take us 90 minutes, an hour and a half, which is
Helicopter. Take a helicopter.
I know on a private jet.
Oh, okay.
15 minutes
To get
to get to the airport, like a half an hour flight or 45-minute flight, and then another 15 minutes to get to the stadium. It was 90 minutes, he told me. That he
you
talked,
just guessed right all the time, but
yeah, but
he said 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
Yeah.
He talked to the airports, the pilots, everything. He had everything already. The timing was
It was
pretty accurate. And helicopter might have been a little bit sooner, but the helicopter also flies slower than a jet. So he thought it was going to be around the same time for us to get there. But bottom line is that the zone is going to have their time, and they don't want to change it. Vergil's going to fight at a certain time, and so is Josh. So I think they're both going to be fighting at the same time, around the same time. So we're gonna split up, like we've done it before. I think we've done that too with Mikey too. Which fight was it that I went with somebody else and you and my dad stayed with Mikey? I think it's
not with Mikey.
I think so.
That never happened with Mikey.
I think
it happened with Mikey where I had to go somewhere else. De Leon fought.
Oh yeah, you're right.
De Leon fought here
right.
at the Stuff Center. I stayed with De Leon. He fought in the Vences. You went with Mikey.
True.
But not that where me and my grandpa stayed with Mikey.
Yeah, you're right.
No.
True. Okay, but also with Jose, when he came to us, that was the agreement. Jose Ramirez.
Oh, yeah.
That if we have two fights like that I'm gonna go with Jose.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Mikey understood. My dad understood that
because there were two different promotions. I remember you said that when Jose Ramirez came, you told him, you talked to Mikey first.
Yes, I talked to Mikey.
And you told the Mikey for whatever reason,
you guys fight the same
day. I will go with him, and Big Jim Pete will stay with you.
And Mikey, my dad, Pete, that's perfect. It's part of the team, and it's part of having a lot of fighters.
Yeah.
So something that we'll talk it over with the team. I'm pretty sure everybody's gonna be okay with it and understand.
Vergil and Josh both been in training camp for a few weeks already. Yeah. Josh and Vergil have both kind of been getting sparring from Manny Robles' gym. Yeah. Joel Diaz has sent a few guys. Been getting really, really good sparring. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about both their training camps, how training camps are going.
Well, I think Josh sparring the kids that Manny brings.
Manny Robles has been bringing Saul Sanchez. Hector Valdez is here, undefeated with.
Oh, Hector's here.
Undefeated with Golden Boy Promotions. He'll be on Vergil's undercard.
Yeah.
On Vergil's undercard. Saul Sanchez, him. Then they have another kid.
He was sparring Ronnie Rios.
They have another kid that's like 4-0 with Manny Robles. I don't know his name.
Yeah.
That's also been coming. And then Gabriel Murataya. Josh has had a bunch of different sparring partners.
Vergil Josh has been having really good sparring. Vergil's been
Sergey Borrat,
who fights this weekend.
I don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his name. And I'm recording my phone, so I don't have my phone on here to look it up. Who has been? He actually fights this weekend. It was sparring Vergil, and if everything comes out, he's gonna come back to helping him soon.
Yes.
Then Joel Diaz has sent a few guys to spar.
They've both been getting good camp. Vergil's been doing great in sparring with two guys. 4 rounds each. Did 10 on Friday, I believe.
Josh did 10 yesterday.
He did 10 on Friday, and Josh is also sparring great. I think they're both gonna be in great shape. They're both gonna be ready for their fights. Both fights are tough. Both fights are great challenges for them, and it'll be a good night because either way, whichever way we decide we're gonna go, it's gonna be good. Both sides are gonna be great fights, great events. Top Rank puts great events on ESPN, and Dallas for Vergil. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have at least 15,000 people. Because Vergil's already a big name, a big fight, and the fans love him, and they're gonna come to support him.
Vergil's last fight was with Maurice Hooker, also in Dallas, and you told me that was one of the
it was
really, really great
walking
cards.
out into the crowd, and it
Jose Ramirez style.
And it was during the pandemic.
Yeah, it was a Jose Ramirez
style. Yeah, when Jose Ramirez fights in Fresno, it's unbelievable the way the fans cheer him on. And with Vergil, it seemed the same, and it was during the pandemic where they had a few restrictions. Now they don't. I think we're gonna have 15,000 people there cheering for Vergil. It's gonna be a great event, great show because the fight will be a great fight.
That does it. That was the only topic we're gonna get into today. Obviously, during later this week, we had fights over the weekend that we'll be posting videos of. I will also be posting videos of Josh and Vergil, both a little bit of their training. Not sparring. I can't post videos of their sparring right now. They're already in training camp. But I will be posting videos of their training later this week. But again, that does it. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys soon.